Yeah, what I will say is we haven't talked a lot about Biggie Smalls. They put so much work in, and they're probably the more consistent team out here, and also could be scary at the service line. So
yeah,
they got a lot of weapons in the arsenal. They're ready to put them on display here. Katie always rocking the Pit Vipers, those shades looking fresh, decked out both in blue cleats. Miramontes and Wu are sporting their California round net shirts in black hats, and Biggie Smalls over there, green, black, blue cleats, ready to get this thing started.
Getting the final touches here, names up on the scoreboards, everything like that. You will see a gentleman in a white shirt in the background. He'll be observing for us today, just making sure if there are any disputes with calls. It is an unbiased opinion to come over the top, and he's going to have a watchful eye. And then that previous series that I've been referring to, there were some calls that have such gray area and need that second opinion.
It could make or break a game. I mean, we've seen it all over the place. When there's no observer, what are you going to do? Sit there and argue about it? Nope. This man is here to make sure they're playing a fair game. And not that anyone's trying to be shiesty. It's just that everyone's out here to win. You see things a little bit differently when you want it to go your way. And
totally.
Observers have been a great addition to the sport. Women's round net is exploding. And these are some of the best teams out there as we get our first serve underway. And just like we talked about, Miramontes already getting an ace.
You know, she must have heard us over here talking about storylines, and if she can keep this this streak of serves going, it's a great thing to start off a series with.
And already trying to work in the left hand, fixing up the net. See if Miramontes goes for another hard serve on two. I saw them kind of bounce back and forth between ideas. They stick with it pretty hard, though.
They do, and I like that she went straight into a left-handed serve even after getting an ace on her right. It keeps the opposing team honest. You got to switch it up, make them work for it, and it's just going to open up each side, both your right and your left.
Yeah, definitely make them start thinking about both sides. Let them know you got a lot of weapons to play with. And here comes Katie Pierson, who starting side by side. She does this on most of her serves. Steps out wide right, and they do not opt to play that off the back rim. Now fault number one has another chance at it. We'll see if they go safe. Pierson wide right, swings, easy serve, defended pretty well. Miramontes with the backhand. It seems like a miss hit, but who cares?
I mean, the look on her face says it all. She was surprised with that hit herself. I don't know if it was like a miss hit or just came off way better than she was expecting, but that was untouchable.
Oh, and another good serve there by Wu, actually, as we go straight into this third point, but put away with an easy backhand. Yeah, a wise man named Buddy Hammond once told me a missed hit can be the bliss hit.
I haven't heard that yet, but I love it. The bliss hit, and that was a bliss hit from Foster, who very smartly just found the open space, did a nice little backhand flick. Miramontes was nowhere to be found.
Yeah, when the set's that good, I mean, she had all the angles in the world.
Yeah.
And misses, double faults there. We are evened up, and serve coming back to Kalin Miramontes of thus Parabatai. Played very well last year at Nationals. This being the first major of this year. Looking to kind of make it a statement, stopping the streak that Biggie Smalls are on, and come in hot with a major victory, securing them pro bid. Called a little bit high, observer agrees, and the serve will now go to Biggie Smalls.
And that is one advantage Pierson has. She's a little shorter in stature, can get those high calls, and it's smart of her to lean into it and kind of use that to her advantage. Smalls
of Biggie Smalls, if I had to guess.
You know? Big hits.
Oh, the wind. Wind really coming into play. That set did not even quite make it to the net. She'll have to clean that up.
The wind it's pretty aggressive out there. It wasn't so bad in the morning, but it slowly started to pick up throughout the afternoon, and the ball's moving for sure. It's hard to read sometimes.
Yeah, those of you guys at home, check out those flags in the background, the shirts blowing in the wind, waving like crazy. Pierson trying to let her rip. Small but mighty. She can swing.
She is. She's a really smart hitter. She's patient. She reads the defense. She doesn't give anything easy.
That's a good set, but defended very well by Foster, who's going to swing with her right hand. Miramontes there, but just goes right above the shoulder, and Biggie Smalls take another one.
Yeah, it was Not the best hit from Wu, but what I will say and what I noticed in their first series was the setting from Miramontes and Wu, I think, needs to be a little stretched out more. A lot of people think that offense is only from the hitter, but where it really starts is where that set is and opens what angles up that you can work with. And I think that they're limiting themselves on the angles they're giving each other.
You need as many angles as you can to play with. The game being 360 degrees, they can't cover all of it. And Pierson swinging again. I like that she kind of went back to, she went a little bit softer last time around, and this time she's like, maybe they'll anticipate the soft, right?
Yeah, and it wasn't too aggressive a serve. It looked like she was just looking for near net, some topspin, and unfortunately hit that rim. That's another great backhand from Foster, just splitting the defense. Pretty clean 1-2-3.
Everyone at home, you're going to see a lot of people opt for the backhand. They feel like their dominant hand, they can just get a lot more power on it by swinging backhand, snapping at the elbow than with their offhand. It normally looks a little bit wonky. If you don't practice it a lot, it's going to look a little bit weird, but that was a good serve, but also the same type of Biggie Smalls dynamic. Kayla Wu, not standing very tall, gets the high call. Easy serve, played well, but the set, again, in this wind, it's going to need a little bit more hang time and have to go a lot more towards your partner when they're already standing across the net like that.
Yeah, I think you can go about it two ways. You can either put a little more under it and have it anticipate needing more behind it, or you can just hit it a little more direct. So fast and to your partner if they're in a good spot and if they're ready, because then you can bypass this whole wind.
First kind of drop shot and another botched set there from Kayla Wu and Miramontes. They'll get it together. I'm confident of it, but it needs to happen quick. They're down 4 breaks already.
Yeah, it's been rough. They definitely seem to be struggling with this wind right now, and it's getting in their head and leading to these bad touches. But a 4-point deficit right now, about halfway, quarter way through this game. It's not where you want to be in the game 1 of this series.
Yeah, we're under a 10. We're feeling the wind over here, but Miramontes, the person you want the ball in the hands of when she gets hot, she can get some of these points back. She is serving hard, clips the near net, and will line up for a second serve here. Pierson low, ready to receive. She steps out to her right, gets a good first touch, hits this one down straight into the pocket or the rim. We'll wait on the call. And they get a redo. They didn't move.
Yeah, it looks like they'll be redoing it. I think that it was a pocket that went backwards, so the observer just opted to call a redo on that.
5-8, Miramontes steps wide right. She gets a new set of serves, though. Second serve here. Stands tall, crossed up. 1 foot, leans in, swings hard. No dice. 9-5 now for Biggie Smalls.
And this is one of those, it's one of those moments as a server, it's a tricky balance of how much you put into that second serve, and if you want to just try and play defense, especially when you're down a few breaks, or you can push those limits. And I think if I were their coach, I would tell them to start trying to get it on and get some defensive touches. You don't want to double fault your way to a 4-point deficit towards the end of the game.
Absolutely. That was a good just in-system play, bump, set, kill. Great job now. Kayla Wu also goes wide right. Both of these players, in fact, all 4 of these players have tried to mix in a couple of lefties. Wu almost always sticks with the cut serve.
Yeah, and that's back-to-back double faults there. I think that they need to maybe take 10-20% off the speed and just make it work. And there you go, getting an ace against Wu is Foster, who might be heating up herself.
Bang, as they say. That was a great serve from Allie Foster. Couldn't get handled. Wu took a stab at it, and now this one going to get called a little bit high. Definitely close, but Allie Foster ripping serves right now.
She seems to be feeling it, not holding back. Takes a little off on that second one.
And almost gets a touch. All 4 of these players can play some defense. I think they do need to switch it up. Thus, Parabatai does need. The more I think about it, sure they can win points on serves, but if the ball's not in play, it's an argument we see all over the community. You'll see teams opt for both aspects of this.
I think too, even just the mental game of it. When you start to go down, you want to try and claw your way back and do it with some big serves and maybe steal some momentum like that. And just like that, we have Miramontes telling us to shut up over here because she's ready to get some aces. But with that said, it's like that balance we're talking about where can you push it and where do you just want to trust your defense and trust your teammate to make some plays.
California round net, all gas, no brakes. Pierson gets that one up, opts not to play it, probably because there's been a lot of double faults. Why not? Make them beat you, where they haven't been able to do it so far, except for that very first serve. So Miramontes ready, starting up with this crossed up stance. We'll see if she goes one leg again. I think she does that a lot on second serves and just tries to hit it on. She does. Gets it up there. Left-handed set there from Foster and puts it in a great spot. Pierson gets that one just through the thus Parabatai players, and they're rolling 12-8 for Biggie Smalls.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful shot there from Pierson. She was just waiting to see which way Miramontes would go on defense, and then at the last second opened up her hips and slid that out wide. It just smart play.
Yeah, props on the lefty set from Allie Foster, who's waiting for her teammate to serve. Two-handed receive there from Miramontes, who backhands and misses the net completely. You hate to see it.
You hate to see it. That one was tough. It was there was just so much open space to hit into. She really didn't even need to hit that hard, but caught it with the wrong side of her hand.
Pierson steps out left, puts a jam serve in, called good, and Biggie Smalls feeling themselves right now. In fact, so much so where thus Parabatai felt the need to call a timeout and kind of take a chill pill, take a little breather here and figure out what's going wrong.
Yeah, this is, 6 points in game one right now. They got to be pretty down on themselves. This is not how the first series went. All those games were pretty close, and it's going to be a tough hole to climb out of. You want to get a little momentum back. Maybe they won't win game one, but they got to start bring some confidence into game two to make this series count.
Yeah, we saw a lot of energy out of them in the beginning part of the day. It's been a long day. They played a lot of pool play series. Several that went to game three.
Yep.
Now they're out here on the feature court, and they look like some wind. There's plenty of wind, but they had some taken out of their sails. So I hope to see them just as a California native. I'm not biased, but I'm biased. Always love to see them do well. They've done a great job to push the sport in my community. But Katie Pierson and Allie Foster have done so much for women's round net. I don't think anyone trains harder than Katie. I mean, this is like her job. This is
for sure.
She's out here to prove points.
Yeah, she's up and coming, very inspiring in her approach to the sport and just how serious she takes it. I mean, that shows. She's having so much success right now with tournaments and could potentially three-peat here and looking formidable in game one of the semis.
And Katie Pierson, who we're talking about right now, young talent, she's going to get ready to serve here. And it's 14-8 as they check on the score through us. 14-8. Pierson, we'll see if she steps out left. Every time she does that, she comes in with a sweet jam serve. Not every time, but this one.
Yep.
Defended well from Miramontes, who swings right, but Pierson is there. Set from Foster is good, but Pierson misses. A very uncharacteristic miss from her, but a good break from thus Parabatai straight out of the timeout.
Yeah, I think we can chalk up some of these just uncharacteristic errors to the wind. It's the ball is going to be a half-inch away from where you're normally expecting it, and it can make you look foolish like it just did there with Pierson, but what happened to the best of us out here.
Yeah, and that's a high set. You can see how much the ball's moving, at least from my view. Good defense by Miramontes. Wu gets the set close to that left hand going as the hat is flying, not able to get it back, but a great effort from the team of California, thus Parabatai. However, all that effort, no point to show for it. Another one for Biggie Smalls.
Another one in the books for Biggie Smalls, but you have to commend Wu and Miramontes there for at least making a play. It looked like Miramontes might get that back on. The bummer is, even if she did have a feeling that Biggie Smalls would have been there to eat it up.
Yeah, but that's another one where they got a second serve. Oh, that was a fire serve from Foster, who's there. Soft touch. The first effort at a soft touch that we've seen so far this game, but not able to get it back there.
Yeah, and that's one of those soft touches that kind of gets caught on your body and doesn't come up enough for you to make a play on it. It's sad because you're in the right place, but you just it doesn't have that bounce that you're looking for.
Miramontes goes with the left hand, first time in a while.
Ooh.
On two.
Righty on two there.
Smart decision there by Foster. That was awesome.
Yeah, one of those ones where if you miss or if it's an easy get, then your teammate might be on your ass about it. But she smartly plays there, and it does keep the defense honest. You know, it changes up their rotations, makes them think twice.
It's only a dumb decision when it doesn't work.
Yeah,
so you get the point.
Like
teammate can't be that mad at you. Great effort by Wu, but another one, chalk that one up as an ace for Pierson, who is just looking as solid as could be this game.
Yeah, it really is. And it's that situation where the wind's really at play here. If maybe that had happened on the other side of the net, the ball could have tracked towards it, but there was no chance for Wu to get there when it was moving away from her.
Biggie Smalls just looks absolutely solid right now. Pierson on a second serve. We'll see if she tries to rip one, knowing they're nursing a lead. Not pretty simple serve. And, oh, what a low shot from Wu. But look, even right now, they're in the right spot to play defense. They just didn't get a great touch on it. So thus Parabatai squeaks another one out, but Biggie Smalls just this is a huge mountain that they've built that Wu and Miramontes have to climb.
And that's that high call that, I mean, that ball was pretty low by most standards, but Pierson keeps so low in her stance, it's like hard not to call. And that's such a challenging thing to serve against because you feel pretty good about getting it on. And there's a
oh
my God!
What a reaction time out of we're getting a point. Did that get scooped?
A little confusion here on the call, but what my guess is the ball might have hit ground or rim or there's something not clean from Biggie Small's side. I mean, what a drop.
That was a great drop. A little boink. That one, I'll throw that in there for Jack Scotty. I was supposed to yell it, but I'll do it next time, Jack. I promise. But goes for another drop. If it works once, why not try it again?
Oh.
Both of them in the right place. Just no communication. One's got to be short. One's got to be long. And another one just barely squeaking through for Biggie.
Yeah, I think that was probably Wu's ball just on her rotation with her right hand coming across. But like you said, sort of a lack of communication led to just no one.
30 points in. They rotate. Foster steps out wide, rips a serve defended well by Wu, who puts a left hand on it. This set in a good spot from Foster. Again, they're both playing so great. Wu and Miramontes definitely need to take the last couple of points here and just work on some in-system stuff. Who cares if they're in the right spot and the defense gets played? They need to start swinging and just getting comfortable putting some stuff on the net like that.
Yeah, that was textbook. That was well done. On that last point, Wu hit it so low, but Pierson was almost on her knees there to receive it and had a great touch. They're mirroring each other well, and I think Wu's got to be scratching her head like, usually I win that point. What happened?
Yeah, Pierson playing great defense. Every single set and hit that Foster's had has been something to talk about. Left-handed pass here, but a right-handed swing called no good off of the rim, and stealing a point before we get to the end of this game is thus Parabatai. But hey, this thing's never over. We've seen crazier things happen.
Yeah, and as we mentioned, even if they here we go.
Right spot. Miramontes needs to swing as she's falling down and can't put it on the net. Couldn't set her feet there.
Could not. And I was about to say, even if they can't win this game, they just need to get a little confidence back to know that they can hang with Biggie Smalls, and that would have been a big one to convert there after a good defensive stand. But a swing and a miss from Miramontes, maybe the win that play as we've been talking about, but either way, she'll want that one back.
Yeah, it might have seemed like she did set her feet, but the ball kept going.
Yeah,
ball kept drifting.
I think it just felt awkward all around for her. She could never find a comfortable stance.
Pierson on game point. Probably knowing her. Oh, I was going to say knowing her, she might just try to absolutely swing one here, end it on her own terms. But she's swung easy, but with a cut on all of her second serves. We'll see if she sticks with that. Miramontes will have to jump out to her right. And does. Two-handed receive. Good pass, but and in the right spot is Biggie. Allie Foster doesn't put a hand on it, but 15-20. It's looking more respectable here, and now Wu needs to keep this ball in her hands for at least 5 more points.
Yeah, we're going to need something special here for...
That's a good one. And the set high, but into the wind.
Into the wind. No hope going so high there. That was tough. And we got 16-20. Here we go. Thus could make a little run. Maybe get some serves on here, play some defense, see what happens.
Kayla Wu needs to get a bunch more serves on. Swings hard. I saw her in a situation very similar to this earlier, and she did swing again. So I can respect it. Let's see what she does here. Steps out wide right. Drops. Bump. Set. Pierson swinging body defense missed by Wu, and that is game 1 in the books, 21-16. Biggie Smalls over, thus Parabatai. They will take a short break, and we will come back for game number 2. But look at that swing from Katie Pierson. That thing was just, this is textbook right here. 1, 2, boom. Just over. The body defense, I mean, she got as close as she could to that and still couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah, nothing she could do. I mean, Wu was kind of went right through her armpit. She was in a decent spot, but Pierson at the end of the day had the right power, had the right placement, and I think that was just sort of the story of the game right there, where Wu and Miramontes trying their best to keep up, but not really being able to figure out their defensive positioning, struggling a little bit on serving, probably having more double faults, and they're going to need to sort that out to force this game 3.
Yeah, minus the start of the game. I mean, they were down 8-4, 9-4, and it ended closer than that, right? About the same, but it stayed about the same at least. So
yeah,
they know that they can at least trade blows, but they can't let either one of them go on too big of a run at the service line, and definitely can't be making too many setting mistakes. When the ball's in your hands at this level, you got to be putting it away.
Totally. And what do you think? What would you change about your style of play in conditions like this with the wind going on?
I had always been a more direct set approach, even when it wasn't windy. Actually, I think that normally works. It looks like, and this is just me snooping in, it looks like they're talking more about rotation right now on kind of where they should stay glued to hips or if they're running. And I'd like to see them talk a little bit more about their serving strategy moving forward. Their defense, I mean, they put themselves in some pretty good spots, right? I'm not mistaken in that. They got overpowered just a little bit. But yeah, I think in the wind, make the other team play through the same elements as you are. That second serve, in my opinion, has got to just hit the net.
Yep.
Make the other team make those same sets in this 15-mile-an-hour wind that you're having to make.
Totally. Let the other team have some offensive possessions. Let them make mistakes. See what happens. But it looks like they're sorting those things out. We are gonna come back here from a break for game 2 and see where this series lands.
All right, we're back down here on the field center court for game number 2 here between Biggie Smalls and thus Parabatai. Game 1 taken down by Katie Pierson and Allie Foster of Biggie Smalls. We saw a lot of botched sets. This wind is affecting everybody, but what do you think? Can Miramontes and Wu figure something out to make this closer, maybe steal a game here and force a game 3?
Yeah, as we talked about, I think that they're going to have to do a little better serve receive and then just get more of their serves on. Just make Biggie Smalls earn it, especially in these conditions. And it's a little double fault there from Pierson to kick us off. And as they say, the ball is in the court of thus here to make something happen.
And fresh off of a swig of Protein 2.0 here, protein-infused water, I'm ready to get amped on this women's round net game. These guys have been pushing the level in the sport of women's round net so far. All 4 of these ladies have something that they've contributed. That double fault is contributing to the point tally of Biggie Smalls, and we are 1-1 as Allie Foster takes the service line for the first time in this game. Swings hard, too high, and we will see a second serve. Steps out to her right, decides to drop one, just put it on, and sometimes that is just all it takes. That is a drop shot point for Allie Foster.
A lapse of focus from Miramontes there. It looked like she was already thinking about her hit before she got that set up, and a nice serve from Foster. It's going to get called high by Wu, and the observer agrees, so we'll be back for a second serve, but I'm still thinking about that drop serve that never should have happened.
They put that one on. That one is also high. They don't want to argue it, though, and that's because they want to put away a 1-2-3 easy kill for Wu, and this will go into her hands now, and she will try to do it herself in the service line. They're moving this on, and what a little drop shot from Katie Pierson. Miramontes couldn't get to another drop shot.
Those are the ones I think as a server that hurt the most. You bring so much heat, you force a bad touch, but somehow it works out for them, and then you lose on a little drop. That's so tough.
I don't know if it's something she was thinking about, but when you do a little drop shot like that into the wind,
yeah,
it is so freaking hard to play defense on that because you have to get it up and not hit the net.
Yeah, yeah. The certain angles out here, if you're smart and kind of use them to your advantage, makes it near impossible for the defense to react.
Pierson steps out right. That was a great low serve. Fast set. Pierson gets there on the drop shot, but Foster not there. The set was pretty low. Great job by getting there at all, but the point will go the way of thus Parabatai, and now Miramontes will step up to the line, crossed up here. A lot of these players start crossed up and step with their left foot. She goes wide right, swings and hits the pocket, and we'll get another try here. Now starting side by side, steps out right again, and this time it was a great serve. Pierson has the ability to swing, and it just hits the net. Another one, a little bit uncharacteristic, swinging early with this wind before the ball drifted too much.
Yeah, not the best swing. Kind of some clumsy form there from Pierson. I think she's been kicking herself today for those misses. Been happening a little more than we're used to.
I mean, even she knows how good she is, right? That's not something she does on a regular basis. She knows that she's better than that. And what a banger of a serve! Oh, not good, not good.
What a
angle looked good.
Boinker of a serve.
Yeah, must have hit some plastic that I was not able to see from my point of view. My bad.
It looked good. It looked good to me as well, but we are a good 30 feet away.
And now Kalin Miramontes will have to set to receive another serve from Foster, who's generally opting for an easier serve. It does so again, but it was still nothing to... That is another miss from thus Parabatai, stopping me dead in my tracks. I expected that thing to be hammered on, but Pierson and Foster rolling. Another lead, taking the lead back and the break off of the mistake from thus. Now, Foster steps out wide right, short on the serve.
Yeah, we may be beating a dead horse here, but it's just, I think it's sloppy out there. This wind is just so hard to control and to understand at times.
You know, this is something they're going to, I think there's the second windy tournament they've really played in, and now this is, it's something where you just got to get back to the basics. You know, everyone's got to play in the same conditions. Make them beat you. We'll see if Wu goes a little easier here. And goes with the drop, bumps that big right hand, but she'll be able to get there with the wind. This is going to need to be a good set. At least they get it back to the net. Now Foster's going to swing with her right.
Ooh.
And gets it just by Wu, whose body defense has not paid off yet, or Foster just knows that she's got the angles to hit around it.
Yeah, and I mean, credit to Wu and Miramontes for working that boom ball back. It's tough in this environment, and they got it on. At least forced Biggie Smalls there to earn that on offense.
They did get the ball back to the net against the wind. Half the battle, put themselves in a position to do it, but too good on offense are the duo that is Biggie Smalls. Now Katie Pierson calls the score, steps out left, swings very hard, great serve. Miramontes swings to the right, pushes it over the hop of Katie Pierson, and thus Parabatai gets a point back.
Just an inch too high there for Pierson to get a hand on it, but a smart over-the-top hit from Miramontes.
Caught in no man's land, no woman's land, I'll say now. Oh, that serve was fuego, but it was just launched past the net.
And this is that point where when the wind's at your back, you can really get some spice on it.
Swings hard again. They don't call that high. They do call it high. It'll probably go to observer, and it's called high.
Yeah, I would say more often than not that's going to happen against Pierson. But you just got to keep swinging.
Foster, lobster traps one. Foster with the lobster trap. And now she will swing yet again. Easier. First pass is good. Second pass is good. Great hand by Foster, who swings with her left. Defense played. They're going to try to call the soft touch, but a little bit too far. Great defense and swing from Foster as we take another look here on our monitor. Great hand and quick reactions by Katie Pierson to get it back to the net. Well played by Biggie Smalls.
Yeah, on that one, that's what I was talking about at the beginning of the game, where I think that Wu and Miramontes just need to focus a little harder on where they're setting the ball, because they're choking each other up and forcing their offense into a defensive funnel that's just not working.
They did just set one right there that was a laser set and then smashed away, so maybe they're getting back to it. And Wu, wow, she's really favoring this drop right now. See if she goes back to it. Nope, decides to swing. And free point for Biggie Smalls.
Free point. What do you think? Is there a little intimidation factor with those pit vibes on from Pierson there?
Always, always. You can't see. It might even actually be worse if she didn't have them on. She is a fierce competitor, and it's just a look of determination every time she's up there. At least so I imagine, because pretty much only see her with those glasses on.
It's true. It's been a staple of her spike ball wardrobe and done her well so far. Did you ever play with glasses? I wasn't a big fan.
Not a big fan myself. Not a big fan myself. I am wearing some right now, though, because in watching her play, the future of women's round net is just so bright. I got to keep the shades on.
I don't blame you, sir. And that was a nice on-two hit from Miramontes, just reading the flat-footedness over with Biggie Smalls. Sometimes you got to do it.
See if she stands tall, stays over this one, just gets it on the net. Goes to the 1 foot, which works out very well for her. And Pierson trying to use the last little square of the net, but, Foster rather, can't find it. Miramontes and Wu get a point, and now all of a sudden we're tied up again at 9-9, almost at the so-called halfway point, and a much different game while we have 9 points each. That was another spicy serve. We're getting a little bit of confidence, and now Wu has great defense, swings with the right hand, and this is the thus Parabatai that has been lacking up to this point.
That was beautiful. Let's see here on the replay. Wu does a great job reading the space, gets a great hand on it. Miramontes, that's the set I'm talking about, that put it across net towards the defense. Wu was able to get around it and hit it into so much space. That's exactly what you want.
It's great defense, and now you keep the ball in the hands of the server who can steal some points for you. Although this one, oh no, not called high. It's actually getting to Biggie Smalls. If you're thus Parabatai, this is a great bounce back from how you ended the first game.
Absolutely, and I say that, there's been a lot of differences in this game from the first, but the main one being that they just didn't have a little lull in play and go down 4. And so they've been able to keep this together, keep it close up to, 9-9, and now they're pulling away a little bit, but more than anything, they're just looking a little cleaner, a little more confident.
That's the type of play that we saw from them that got them into a national championship contention. And although Foster and Pierson are positioning themselves to be the top dogs in the women's division up to this point, they're doing what it takes here to at least keep this one mega competitive, try to force a game 3, but man, they have still got a long way to go against a team like Biggie Smalls. This game is not anywhere near over, and I absolutely expect, Pierson's, they're both playing solid. I expect Foster to kind of just turn it up another gear.
Yeah, we do get the feeling that this is far from over, and it was a more veteran move to notice that swing and momentum and call that timeout from Biggie Smalls there, and now they kind of maybe can reset. That was a decent serve from Miramontes, just barely clipping rim, so it will be a no good, a fault there, and here's her for a second.
I could see that was a great serve on 2, but Pierson with like the little top drop just flicks that one away. It looks so funky, but doesn't matter how it looks, it still looks like a point on the scoreboard.
Yeah, that's one of those ones where I think Miramontes expected Pierson to hit it cleaner and further, so I don't want to say gave up on it, but didn't go max effort, and then when it popped up in front of her, she was like, oh, I could have been there, and was a little too late.
They play this one. It goes off the net. Now Pierson can swing. The body defense finally pays off. Miramontes giving it her best effort and good sportsmanship out there as they help up Wu, but great job getting that back to the net at all. Wu plays the body defense, gets bumped. We'll see what the call is here. I don't want to make any assumptions from the desk.
Yeah, I think what they're talking about is Wu did take some contact from Pierson, that is, but she wasn't necessarily in the play, so it will go the way of Biggie Smalls here with Foster back to serve.
11-11, make a wish, and that was a great first pass. The backhand defended well by Foster, but as she falls away, Pierson barely misses that set with her left hand. She wants it back. You can already see the look on her face, but point for thus Parabatai.
Big point, too. Every point's going to matter here in the stretch, but every bit of momentum, you don't want to give up easy breaks.
Kayla Wu trying to go back to that drop shot. If I'm Katie Pierson, I want her to try to beat me that way. She gets to everything, so it doesn't matter. That one was a little bit high. at least from my perspective. And now Pierson will have the opportunity to try to take the lead with the ball in her hands at the service line, changes her stance. Normally she's crossed up this much. She steps out wide right, throws a little cut in there. Good first high pass, affected by the wind just a little bit. This one goes straight back onto the net. Now Wu swings with her right, pulls it well, and nobody home. Point for Thus.
Yeah, they got a little lucky there. If we watch this replay, this set from...
Actually, I think the call is rim.
Really? Let's see here.
Maybe.
Maybe a little on the way off. Pierson pointing right at it when it happened.
Yeah, Pierson and Foster, not fooled.
Unfortunately, well, what I was going to say is that set from Miramontes was into Wu's body, and she wasn't able to even get a good hit on it, so it got to a point where that rim actually mattered.
I was going to say these high passes are great because your teammate can judge it, but with this wind, that high first pass that you're basically taught to do in a perfect situation, give yourself some time to set up for the hit. Defense can get read by the setter. The setter doesn't have the time to do that. They got to focus too hard on where that ball's going to end up, so they can get it back to the net.
Exactly. You almost have to sort of play into the wind, maybe take a few steps where you think the ball might end up with the wind, regardless of what normally happens.
All right, second serve into the rim for Katie Pierson. Now Miramontes will swing. It looked kind of like a half swing. She didn't really get after it there. Fixes the hat. Spinning the ball. Goes up on one leg as she does on a lot of her second serves. Great second set. This will get boomed with the wind. Wu needs to get back. Good set from Miramontes. The left hand coming in a little bit too early from Wu, and that's a point for Biggie Smalls.
Yeah, you see Miramontes sort of giving them that my bad gesture there, and it wasn't a good set, but I think Wu could have done better with it. At the end of the day, though, I am surprised that we haven't seen more boom balls like that into the wind because it's so hard to come back from.
I'm glad you said it. I thought that was a very smart play by Pierson to just hit it high. Normally you don't want to do that because the teammates got all the time in the world to get there, but she had to track that one down. It wasn't even hit all that hard.
Yeah, when in doubt at this point, just, straight down into the net, pretty high up into the air is going to be trouble for the other team.
That is the serve that Kayla Wu has wanted to see from herself this whole series. I believe that's her first good ace, and now she'll rotate, something they haven't done since Miramontes worked a couple of aces in there herself. Swings hard again, and it's just quite off.
She's finding her group, but I really want her to just get this one on. If they could potentially get a defensive stand, that would just really add to the momentum. She's still swinging, though. You can't blame her, but one break there is all they're going to really need to maybe make this happen.
It's hard to tell yourself not to swing when you just got a point off an ace.
It is. It is. If you're feeling yourself, you're feeling yourself.
Katie Pierson focusing up, blocking out everything, deciding what serve she's going to go with here. Crossed up again, 15-15. Steps left, swings hard. Normally a little bit of a jam serve, but that one gets trapped, and she will go to serve number 2. Starting side by side. Steps out with her right. Swings hard. That one is a little bit high.
Yeah,
they will call this one. They actually, I noticed a lot of them let it go because you hate to lose a point on that, especially when you're close this deep into the game.
Yeah, you try and play it safe, but at the same time, I mean, take the points you can.
Big swing from Miramontes. And this will go to serve number 2. I like this dynamic where she's across from Foster, and Wu and Pierson are across from each other as well.
Yeah, very similar lineup matchup here, if you will, going back and forth. It's, I think, what leads to this such an even match here.
Foster hasn't done it, taken it upon herself to get a bunch of points from behind that service line, but she has gotten all of her second serves on, and there's another botch shot. She just brought that one with her. Kayla Wu giving Biggie Smalls the break there, and now Foster will serve to her and start swinging.
Yeah, the wrong time for a mistake like that. Just opening the door for Biggie Smalls to close this series out. It's going to be a little more pressure than they need coming into the last few points here.
Foster goes wide right, hits it easy, a little bit too lackadaisical. And now it's 17s. Wu, who's coming fresh off of a possession where she had an ace, is going to get to serve again. Tried for it, hit the right side of the net just a little bit too much. Foster back to receive this one on the drop. Left-handed pass, and she'll swing with her right.
Ooh.
And it's another one. I think she hit it twice, though. So this one will go back in. Although it was a mishit, it feels like they're getting away with this.
Yeah, slight disagreement here. I'm not totally sure what they're talking about. It looks like Wu is claiming something not clean by Foster, whether so it looks like they're going to replay this.
Confusion on who it hit when it on the way up off of Allie's hit. It hit Kalin. I think is what they finally decided. Nevertheless, second serve for Wu, who goes easier, gets this one on, plays body defense, up and over, and with the wind, that one is out of the stands, long gone. We'll get it tomorrow. New ball coming in for Pierson, who's holding on to a 1-point lead.
Yeah, not a bad effort from Wu there, throwing her body on the line, kind of closing her eyes, hoping something comes off.
Pierson all set, announcing the score. Steps out left, hits a jam. Miramontes high pass, swinging with her right, and splitting the defense. Gets the point back. We're tied yet again.
Splitting defense, and not a bad hit there. I don't want to take anything away from it, but if you recognize that Biggie Smalls are rotating so early and they're trying to fill that space on the pole, I think if Wu and Miramontes maybe talked about it, they could start setting on that left hand there and have no defense accounted for.
Yeah, almost another great serve by Miramontes. She tries to go easy on the second one, catches some pocket. That one bounces high. 18-19, and they will decide to call a timeout. I don't hate that idea. Talk about a game plan. Talk about your system as you come into a serve you're going to be having to receive from Foster, who's gone to second serves a lot. If she goes on the second serve, she just boops it on. This is where you talk about keeping everything exactly the way you've been doing it forever. Bump, set, kill. Make sure your sets are good. And now the way they're talking to each other now is with the energy that they showed in pool play, at nationals, at, typically that we see of this team. And meanwhile, taking a quick seat and swig of water is Biggie Smalls, who's just as focused as ever.
Just sitting over there, getting a little advice, but they look cool, calm, collected. I mean, they got to feel a little less pressure. They took game one. This wouldn't be for the series if they were to lose, but Wu and Miramontes, just knowing them as players and as a team, they're really all about kind of bringing the energy, having fun out there. So it looks like they're just hyping each other up, trying to get ready for this matchup, really thinking about these next few points because their tournament could be over if they don't, figure it out and make something happen.
They got a couple of points to do it. I mean, at the end of the day, Biggie Smalls has to get up too. So you can keep battling make them make the mistakes. Said it last time, I'll say it again. It's like playing against your grandma in ping pong. She beats you because she just gets the ball back. If you keep putting the ball on the net, you're forcing the other team to make plays.
Just play like grandma.
Play like grandma. So the players are making their way back to the center court. They're all lined up. Allie Foster, who's got all the power, is ready to swing. Checks to make sure we're ready. I appreciate that. And now she swings hard with her right hand. They will play this. The set for Miramontes is good, but putting them in a position to play perfect D, and this one will be considered rim, I believe.
Yeah, it looked pretty rimmy. I think most of the players agreed. That was one where, we probably could have just got that one on, but I also think since the wind's at your back, just get under it, put it up, let it fly.
Yeah, they pretty much did everything right minus the hit. The set, I mean, Biggie Smalls was in a position to play defense, no problem. So hitting the net is kind of the focus, but.
No. I'm holding on to the 10. That's why.
And that was.
All right, game point here in the first women's semi. Big swing from Foster. We'll see if she just makes Miramontes and Wu play. 1, 2, good set, and that is a good wrap pull there from Miramontes. And now Wu has got the ball in her hands. They need to get at least one extra point here
They're gonna have
to
to do
extend this match.
Do some making up for that mistake coming right out of the timeout. Let's see what Wu's got up her sleeve.
First serve goes high.
Not bad.
Will she stick to her guns?
Give yourself a chance. Looks like she's asking Kalin, bring the heat or not. We'll see.
Serve on, near net, good serve, good set here. Defense by Miramontes, this wind is killer. Wu cannot get there. And going to another final, trying to hold on and chase a three-peat in their last 3 tournaments are Pierson and Foster of Biggie Smalls. A great match, well fought by the team from California, but at the end of the day, that was just solid play from Pierson and Foster.
It was. They're looking so strong. Yeah, I mean, we got to give credit where credit's due. Wu and Miramontes really turned that around in game 2. They made it a good match, but well deserved. Well deserved. I'm excited to watch the finals. We got some big money on the line at this major. It's going to be a fun one. We'll be back with some more action here soon, and might be streaming some open division here in a bit. So stay tuned.